Welcome back to the show. Check out these headlines. Will the SEC not pursue any appeal against Ripple? Well, we've got some information you need to see because maybe they do. I don't know. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on Twitter, YouTube, and digperspective.com for exclusive content. Right now, $2.22 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is up 5.1%, and we welcome it. 60,000 plus for Bitcoin right now, 60,700 plus for Bitcoin, but we're waiting for Ethereum to get back over $3,000. Just in case you're looking to get some, it's still off by 16% on the 7-day. Just thought you should know. 115 billion plus market cap for Tether. We see USDC at the number 6 spot, 34 billion plus market cap. XRP at the number 7 spot at 58 cents. Now we're off by 3.7 on the 24, up by 2.4 on the 7-day. So there we have that. The range of price between 57 and 60 cents. We're at the top of that range. We hope it keeps going. We'll see what's happening here. We have a lot of good news to go over, so don't get worried about price. I do want to tell you right now, if you've been affected by the shot for COVID, there is a option to detox your body. Now, I did this by buying multiple different things and taking them all at once, and it's very confusing and costly to keep track of. But Dr. McCullough here has put together nattokinase, dandelion root, and black cumin seed and other things together to provide this detox from the spike protein that gathers and builds up in your body if you have taken the shot. Now, I'm getting ready to start this cycle on this for the second time, and I've been affected by the one shot that I got, so that's why I'm doing it as much as I can, because I want to be able to flush that out of my body and really detox as much of it as possible. So if you need to do that, you can too. But if you just want, like, and this is the spike protein, spike detox, it's called spike support. But if you want it, you could also get this, which I'm getting as well, which is the emergency kit. Ivermectin, generic Z-Pak, and amoxicillin. You know how hard these things are to get a hold of if the government starts doing funny stuff and telling you to stay inside. You're not going to want to wait until that moment to get something. And to be perfectly honest, these things in this emergency kit, everyone should have in their home. No question about it. The link underneath the video, and it provides you a discount as well. 10% off of all the things you've just seen and anything on this site. Don't mess around and get it today. Look at this. Yoshitaka Katao, the head of SBI, highlighting SBI and Franklin Templeton, which has been working heavily on top of the Stellar Network, collaborate to create digital asset management. And I love seeing this because I think there's going to be multi-chains all over the world connected. Ripple highlights this and says, once again, with Wednesday's historic victory in the case about the remedies ruling, we've seen an uptick in scams. So, as Joel Katz had said a year ago, he's reminding everybody, and Ripple is too, please beware of scam Ripple accounts, fake executive accounts, or others promoting XRP giveaways or XRP airdrops. Ripple and its executives will never ask you to send funds anywhere, and neither will I. So make sure you are very, very diligent. Now let's talk about this. Boy, you want to talk about scams. The Biden-Harris administration, SEC is still not changing their course on crypto. As you can see here, the headline is the SEC subpoenas 3 crypto VCs in sign crackdown is gaining pace. I tell you, Operation Choke Point 2.0 is alive and kicking. And we keep hearing all these people in this space, the Mark Cubans are running around going, but no, don't vote for Trump. Don't vote for Trump because we're Harris can change it. We haven't heard her opinion on crypto. Well, guess what? I don't even want to now. Pack your bags. When you contribute that much effort and that many years into squashing and suppressing unfairly an industry and technology the way this administration and Harris has done, go fly a kite. I don't want to hear about your last minute epiphany. One more time for the people in the back.
Let's talk about some of the next steps here. By when is Ripple obligated to pay that fine? And when that happens, is that the end of this chapter that started back in December 2020 when the SEC slapped Ripple with charges? Or do you expect an appeal from the SEC? Can that even happen at this stage? Or are we finally done with this legal battle?
Great question.
Well, in our minds, we are finally done. The fine pursuant to the court's order needs to be paid in 30 days, and we will do that. The SEC certainly has the option to pursue an appeal. I think they've got 60 days to make that determination. But again, we're focused on the finality that this order gives Ripple. We want to focus on continuing to grow our business both globally and domestically. We like the clarity that this lawsuit and the outcome of this lawsuit has provided to us. And that's where we're going to be focused on. And again, if the SEC is a rational actor, and they are, and this administration truly is serious about hitting the reset button on their war on crypto, there should be no appeal, and everybody should be moving on.
There you have it right there. And look, the whole thing's great, but that's what I wanted to highlight. That's what I wanted to highlight for you. So, but I have more. We're not done with you yet. Eleanor Terrett reached out after the decision to the SEC for comment on the Ripple ruling. And a spokeswoman gave her this statement. This is what they said. This is what they said. This is not Eleanor's statement. This is Eleanor reaching out to the spokesperson for the SEC. This is what they said, in quotes. The court granted the SEC's motion for remedies, including an injunction barring Ripple from committing additional violations of the securities laws and significant civil monetary penalties totaling more than 12 times the amount Ripple suggested was appropriate. As the court found, the fact that Ripple has shown a willingness to push the boundaries of the court summary judgment order evinces a likelihood that it will eventually, if it hasn't not already, crossed a line. The court also addressed the egregiousness of Ripple's conduct and noted that there is no question that the recurrent, highly lucrative violation of Section 5 is a serious offense. As after court has stated, the securities laws apply when firms offer and sell investment contracts regardless of the technology or labels that they use. That's the quote. Now, Eleanor comes in and says, the response from both sides shows that each feels they got the better deal. Ripple is celebrating because the fine was $1 billion and now 3/4 less than what the SEC originally suggested. The SEC is celebrating because Ripple now has to pay 12 times the amount it originally suggested, and the judge agreed that the firm had violated securities laws. Based on all of this, Eleanor feels an appeal of the remedies ruling from either side is unlikely. She thinks it's more likely that the SEC would appeal the July 23 ruling now that the final judgment has been reached. But I say that while wearing my I'm not a lawyer t-shirt. I happen to agree with her. The original ruling about programmatic sales not being securities and XRP not being a security in and of itself, in the dicta of that ruling, that is where they may go after next. Now, there was an article that came out here that says, big news for Ripple and SEC signals no plans to appeal ruling. I say not so fast. You saw what I just read you, and I think Eleanor brings up a good point here. And we are talking about the SEC after all. An unfaithful allegiance to the law, arbitrary and capricious, physically flat out caught lying to a federal judge in a debt box case. That's the same SEC I happen to be talking about. So I won't believe any of this until we get well beyond the 60 days. We shall see. And Jeremy Hogan here comes in, and he's asked by Hodor here, do you think there will be appeals, Counselor Hogan? And he comes in and says here, I've settled on a 60% chance that the SEC appeals. That's a strong chance. Judge Torres' opinion is an outlier and no one seems to be following it yet, so it doesn't hurt the SEC as much as it might have. And an appeal could also, of course, backfire as well. But I still think a 60% chance because the SEC doesn't operate like a normal litigant. And that's where I'm at, too. Now, Sherry Empress comes down here and says, but they could have another option, protective notice of appeal. He's not sure what that is. And she says the DOJ is known mostly to file those. But Gensler could do it as claiming the SG, maybe the Surgeon General needs more time to review, or the SEC believes, I don't know why, I don't know, I think I'm wrong about whatever SG is. But nevertheless, the SEC believes that the delay is beneficial to change the administration to handle the review, something along those lines if Gensler wants to pass the headache. That's what the suggestion is. I don't know about that. What I think is probably likely is to see an appeal of the original decision that secondary sales, programmatic sales, are not securities. We shall see what goes on. We have to wait to find out. But I wanted to show you this. Shout out to Chad Steingraber here. All bank IDs connected to RippleNet in the Philippines. So this is just fun, right? This is just fun. Here you go. Right? You can see the list here. Bank of America. Hello. We know that one. We know quite a bit of these. But let's look at these too, right? Then you have all of these here. HSBC. Heard of that one. Deutsche Bank. Okay. Citibank. Yeah. Who else is on here? JP Morgan Chase Bank. Industrial Bank of Korea. Look, I don't know what to say. I mean, these are all banks connected to RippleNet. Does anybody think that this isn't going down? Who is it? Who is it? For God's sakes, I don't know what to say. You know, this is so exciting. And so is this. Ripple begins testing its stablecoin, the real USD, on the XRP ledger and Ethereum. And as I said, we're talking about the exposure to a brand new stablecoin to over $400 billion of active daily market cap between the two networks. This isn't a small matter, ladies and gentlemen. Testing, says Ripple. RLUSD, we're excited to share that Ripple USD, the real USD, is now in private beta on both the Ethereum mainnet and the XRP ledger. The real USD has not yet received regulatory approval and therefore is not available for purchase or trading. Please be cautious of scammers who claim they can have or distribute real USD. Be very careful. Here, we also find out from Vet, shout out to Vet here, the RLUSD account on the XRP ledger has clawback enabled. So we already know that's set up to service payments and having to claw back something if they need to. Interesting that a new amendment, XLS-73D AMM clawback, is developed to allow deposits of clawback enabled tokens. Loving where this is going. It says they already, to me, it shows exactly, they know what they need to be in place to do everything they need to do with this. And there it is. The Ripple stablecoin Real USD is in beta test on the XRP ledger mainnet as well as the Ethereum network. And he's showing you here ERC20 token address. You can see it all right there. It is super exciting. Shout out to Vet again for that. And then here we see this as a suggestion to understand here. Here is the very first RLUSD address, birthday 8/8/2024. I love this. And he gives the address right here, and it shows balance 100 XRP and reserve 12 XRP. We know that all wallets have to have a reserve. So to that point, Chad Steingraber comes in and says, if 100 million unique wallets hold the real USD were to exist, that would mean 1.2 billion XRP would be locked up forever because that's what the reserve amount of 12 would do. Just to open up 100 million unique wallets around the world, that would not take long to do. Think of it. You know, and you're just talking about the reserve here of the wallet, not what's held in the wallet. You know, and if all those wallets, 100 million wallets, had 100 XRP in them, you could add 2 more zeros, right? So then you're talking about 10 billion to the 1.2 billion, and then you're talking about 11.2 billion. That's a remarkable number. It's not, it won't take long for this to be a thing because most people aren't factoring in locking up the asset And that's another thing about automated market makers, total value locked up. It's massive, right? So you got the reserve of the wallet, locking things up, just holding and using assets in a wallet. Things are going to be remarkable. And as I've said, we need three things in the immediate near term. One was the ruling in this case. We just got it. Two is we need the launch of the real USD. They just told us it's in beta and they're waiting for regulatory approval. So it's coming. And three will actually be the legislation for stable coins, which will not just be stable coins pegged to dollars. These were important because these will be stable coins that also represent shares of Apple, right? Stable coins that represent fractional shares of Tesla and all the stocks and all the bonds and all the other derivative products that exist out here. Those are stable coins too once we get legislation. And then you could really see the effects of the long tail effects and benefits of something like XRP when you get the market built out to where there is a tokenized representation of all the traditional markets. You're going to begin to see fireworks take place. That's what I believe. And I'll tell you another thing. We can't forget this. Subjective views ask. Now we wait for Tether's imminent demise. What's going to come of Tether? We know what's happened in the EU, but we haven't yet seen the effects show up of that in the marketplace or market cap there of Tether, as it is holding strong currently today. But will that be the case if we get when we get stablecoin legislation here in the U.S.? Will it be locked out here as well? And will it then begin to experience trouble in maintaining its market cap and demand once we see more products like the real USD and Circle's USD gain adoption everywhere? That's going to do it for me. We're going into the Freedom Zone. You're going to want to come with us. Now, we've heard a lot about Hollywood, and we've heard a lot about Hollywood having problems with underage people and things going on there that are not so good. Well, we got a whistleblower here, and you're not going to believe what you're going to hear. And there ain't no way in the world I could ever play this out on YouTube, because that is a communist platform, sadly to say, owned by Google, sadly to say. Google's search engine, also communist, biased, right? Sadly to say. But you know what? That's the world we live in. We know it. We improvise, adapt, and overcome. That's what we do. And that's what we're going to do in here. And we're not going to continue to blow the whistle and let people blow the whistle inside this group. And that's what's about to happen today. You are not going to believe your ears. Join us in the Freedom Zone. Go to digitalperspectives.com, click the Freedom Zone, come on in for next to nothing. Or join the DPMG if you want to learn how to use XRP Ledger automated market makers, or you just want to be around the kind of people that really, truly are interested in growing, protecting, and maintaining their wealth. This is the group to be in. I mean, these people are amazing, and most of these people are highly successful and have really, really great minds that understand a lot of what's going on in this space and in business in general. And all of those conversations are happening inside in the DPMG. And if you join the DPMG, you get the Freedom Zone for free. That's what I can tell you there. Come on in. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. Let's get this started. All right, welcome back. And listen, brace yourselves. This is going to be very uncomfortable